Welcome, bounty hunters and Star Wars fans alike. It is Fetts are off. It is I, the Tuscan Toast in Miami, with Brian, the charismatic Carillion in San Antonio. How's it going, man?
My esteemed Tuscan Toast, how are we this evening?
Oh, we are awesome. We are stellar. We are
I am
fantastic.
as well.
Yeah.
I feel the Force.
Oh, I feel it too. I think
The
it's
Force
heartburn.
is with me,
It's heartburn, really.
and I am with the Force.
Oh man! I forgot to send you this hilarious
Who said that?
meme.
Who said that?
Who said what?
Who said that?
Who said what? Oh,
Who said that?
I am one with the Force and the
Which
Force.
dude?
The
Not just a
dude.
dude. Which
The
dude?
The dude, the blind dude.
Who is? You have a name to the dude, right? He's not just a dude.
Well, he is.
Oh man, to not get this.
He's a really cool dude.
Okay, at least give me the movie.
It was Rogue One. Rogue One.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll accept that. I'll
Yeah,
accept that.
It was
All right, I'll accept that.
Rogue One.
That's okay.
What's his? Okay, so what's his name?
Chedut Imwe.
Okay.
Chedut Imwe.
Chedut
Chedut. Chedut.
Chedut.
You can do this. Chedut.
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 Why does it sound like that? How do you spell it?
It sounds like you have to say Gesundheit afterward, right?
I mean, that's not culturally insensitive because it's a form of fiction, right? So I don't think it's culturally insensitive.
Oh boy.
Planetarily insensitive.
Planetarily insensitive.
Planetarily insensitive. If that's a thing.
Insensitive on a galactic scale.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's
Talk about the trouble I would be in, man. Man.
Can you imagine if Palpatine got a note of insensitivity on a galactic scale?
Oh my God.
What kind of feedback do you think you'd have to give a first officer on that?
Do you think that they have to do that in like on the Death Star? They have to do I don't know, sensitivity training with the stormtroopers.
This is an excellent question. I don't know, but I mean, I wonder how Palpatine would react to it. First of all, I mean, because imagine it. He gets a complaint, right? Like he gets a complaint, and he looks at the first officer. What's going on with this? What insensitivity?
That sounds so good. Insensitivity.
We're on the Death Star. What do you mean insensitivity? What is this insensitivity crap?
Blow up a planet?
I've spent countless decades trying to take the galaxy over in insensitivity.
Can you imagine
that sounds like a Mark Hamill Joker. That didn't really sound like Palpatine.
Can you imagine that? Imagine that you're some I don't know, some new recruit on the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
And you're hunting down and you're killing innocent people, hunting down Jedi, doing all these horrible, merciless things, and then
you got ass hurt by some guy that said like, I don't think you're pulling your weight like the rest of the 501st or just what have you.
Yeah, and then you gotta go, and then you're like, have you done your
sensitivity training? Because I'm the rookie.
Have you done your sensitivity training? What? Just murdered a whole bunch of villagers on Tatooine. You want me to go do sensitivity training?
Did you take your sensitivity model?
God. Oh man, imagine the bureaucracy that would be on there. I mean, it is. Well, no, I don't know. I mean, it's not the future. It's a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago.
Vader, I want you to get all those first officers in line. Do you understand me? They're all to get their insensitivity module today.
We're behind the power curve. Oh man, I always imagine that, like, just your basic everyday life, in the Empire, because when we're in the Marines, I mean, you have to do like a bunch of module training, like online module training for everything, equal opportunity, tobacco cessation, believe it or not, just all these little basic things, but it takes such a long time. It is such a long time, and you have suspense states. You think this is the same thing for these guys? I bet you it is. They just never mention it because that's the boring stuff.
this is the stuff that's missing from all the movies, like we're talking about, like the day-to-day things.
Not just
like
that, but it's all the stuff missing from like the Marine Corps commercials. Yeah, they got them doing awesome stuff, amphibious landings and riding helicopters, but no, they don't show them behind a computer doing their equal opportunity training.
I mean, because picture when Palpatine probably had to do the final inspection on the Death Star to make sure that it was like up to spec, right?
I don't want to do the sensitivity training. Do it.
Well, no, but the walkthrough though, the final walkthrough. Like he's probably going up to Tarkin and he's like, "You mean I gotta walk all through this damn thing today?" Like,
oh man, if this stuff was real, it'd be so funny. I mean, just for comedy bits and everything like that. But how are you doing over there in San Antonio? I mean, what do we have? We have COVID, we have protests, we have hurricanes.
It is hurricane season. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we had. I mean, Cristobal made landfall over New Orleans, and Mississippi got a lot of rain, and it's just moving north. It's just this big system just moving north as a depression. So we have a lot going on in this world right now. Oh, look who's here.
Uh-oh.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. But from now on, you do as I tell you, okay?
Oh, God. I'm loving our sound effects. I want to get some more. I'll do that eventually sometime this week. But
I mean, you missed one, though.
What?
You missed
Godzilla?
one. No.
What?
The Japanese Hornets.
Oh, murder hornets.
No, Japanese Hornets. Don't do this with me today.
Why? Are they Are they the same thing? I haven't been following that.
I mean, I don't know where murder hornets came from, but I mean, I saw this documentary on National Geographic about. Here we go again. By the way, everybody, we're gonna drift off a bit here, but this is you'll find this is typical on our Star Wars All Fetts Are Off podcast. Yeah. I was watching a documentary all the way back in 2005, and it talked about the Japanese Hornets, and this is fascinating stuff, man. It talked about how 30 Hornets took out a killer bee, not a regular honeybee. I mean, killer bees, the nasty ones. It took out an entire colony of killing bees, 30,000 of them. 30 Hornets took them out in 60 minutes.
So they went to war.
No, they just did it just to do it. It wasn't even,
Oh, it's just like, what are we going to do today?
It's like there's a hive. There's
genocide.
Let's go get it. Well, it's mainly about the honey, I'm sure, but they're just like, let's go get the honey. They don't stand a chance. It turns out the Japanese Hornet casualty was 6 Hornets. They lost 6 out of the 30. So 24 Hornets made it out after wiping out 30,000 killer bees. I don't know what that translates to per minute since they did it in 60 minutes, but that's a lot of dead bees, man.
That is a lot of dead bees. What's the saying? You can attract flies with honey, but you can attract more honeys by being fly. That's your swag pickup line.
Swear to me you don't use that anywhere. Swear to me, because if you
because I mean I'd be laughed out of a room if I said that to anybody. It's just really cool to put it on a T-shirt. I think, well, I think it'd be a good idea. I don't really wear graphic tees. I should. I mean, they look really good on me. But so
just a real quick for all those who have not yet experienced All Fetts Are Off. We're a Star Wars podcast.
Yes.
Allegedly. That's up for
sometimes.
That's up for debate in some episodes, but we're a Star Wars podcast, and we come and we chat wars for 90 minutes every Monday, and we throw down starting at 8 o'clock. It's myself and of course my colleague here from Florida, the Tuscan Toast, and we've got some topics tonight that will hopefully stir some different conversation. I know we have one that's near and dear to our Tuscan's heart.
Yes.
That we've thrown in tonight, so we'll be getting to that.
Yep.
And we had some decent stuff last week with your return, with your triumphant return.
Oh yes, the prodigal son did return. Let me
sure did.
Yeah, let me recap what we did go over. We talked about
let's get a recap.
Katie Sackhoff to Mandalorian season 2.
I'm excited about that.
And
Excited about.
I didn't know who that was, and you
Did I mention I'm excited about that?
I think you're a little excited about it, but thank you for educating me on that.
I'm excited about it.
High Republic launch falls to the COVID curse. That is the comic series. They're gonna. What did we say? 2022.
2022.
That's a long time.
Mid to late 2021. The latest would be early 2022. So
yeah. So
let's hope it's not pushed to 2022. That would kind of suck.
I mean, but we have some cover art. We had some cover art to kind of wet our palates a little bit and give us that taste. So
stuff looked great too. It looked really good.
Yeah, it did. That artwork was fantastic, and I'm super excited for that. The Solo series, we talked speculation coming to Disney Plus. We've talked a lot of Disney Plus. They've been doing a lot of stuff, and it's given us a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm really excited about what they're doing on Disney Plus. I'm equally excited about HBO Max, which I'm trying out right now. It came free with my AT&T, so I'm checking that out right now. We were talking about Star Wars Top Gun. Star Wars Maverick. And then we talked about the Black Series. And after the show, Brian, I really got to thinking about this. And I remember what you were telling me about how they repackaged it and now they're selling it again.
Tuscan, real quick, our one of our loyal viewers is joined on with us. Boba Binks.
Boba Binks.
Welcome, Boba Binks.
What the Misa saying?
I got an excuse to say that.
Yeah. I was actually enjoying myself for a little bit here that it didn't come in so quick.
Oh, well, here, prepare to hate yourself.
But
this is very, very bad. It smells stinkawith.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it smells stinkawith. But yeah, I wanted
the Black Series. By all means, I'd love to hear this.
So I got to thinking about how they were repackaging it.
And, it's a cash cow, man.
Yeah, and I did just a little bit of research, and not a whole lot. And I saw that Hasbro does this. This isn't the first time they do this.
Nope.
This is constant. It's just like they're taking old stuff. They're putting in a nice box, because real collectors never really take a whole lot of things out of the box. That I understand. If they believe it's going to be worth something, they keep it in mint condition, keep it in the box.
This is true.
Or they buy two and they use one as a display, and then they use another one that they can play with.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Never?
I don't know anybody that does it.
I would do that. Well, I don't know. I have Ninja Turtles right there. I haven't opened, but that was nostalgia. Those are the original Ninja Turtles.
I don't think Tex Utah knows anybody that does it either.
Are you being facetious?
Yeah. But go ahead.
So yeah, I think it's a giant ripoff, because it's the same. Imagine getting the exact same iPhone from 2 years ago, and all they do is put it in a brand new shiny box, and they sell it to you at a markup, right? And then they say, here, it's a limited edition iPhone. Nobody cares, because you come out with a new one every year. But it's the same thing, and it's. I can't get behind that. It makes it really hard for me to want to buy these things, especially knowing that what they'll do is they'll just repackage it in a couple years and sell it for a lot more money, and then it will go for a lot more money. I think it's just a crappy way of doing business. That's just that's my own little humble opinion, but
that's a good one.
It feels dirty, and I don't want to do it, because it's just. You're gonna I don't know. You're gonna spend all this money, and some shark is gonna go out there and they're gonna buy them all up and toss them on eBay, for a 50% markup.
That's what happens. Those we call them scalpers.
It's not. It's not.
They prefer a professional term for their name, which I think is a bunch of
scumbags.
Batafudu. No, they've given themselves the professional name of vendors.
Oh, vendors. I get it. Okay, because Hasbro isn't one.
They call themselves a vendor because they can throw up a tent at a Comic-Con and charge $200 for it. That's why they call themselves a vendor.
Now, in business, that's called a reseller. But Hasbro is already reselling. Hasbro is already reselling because they are. They're the actual manufacturer. You're kind of skipping a step, going from manufacturer just straight to selling it to the public.
It's it's hard to fault them though, right? I mean, they manufacture the thing; it's theirs, and
well, yeah, and
they know that you're going to go buy it, so that.
Yeah, you cut the
capitalism at its
middleman.
finest.
You cut the middleman. You don't have to distribute. You just, I mean, you are the distributor. You're distributing
You are the
and,
distributor. Yeah,
and
it's
selling.
make it. Right?
So it's better
you
for
want
them.
to repackage something, and you know that they'll go for it. I mean,
Now,
hey, it's like Pepsi, you know. Pepsi can throw like a 12-pack with a picture of
the
a
Super Bowl.
DeLorean on it to promote Back to the Future. Or
Yeah,
something,
or
you know?
the Super Bowl, like what they did. They had, like here in Miami, when the Super Bowl was here back in January, I mean, you saw all these Pepsi cans that had, Super Bowl live on it, and everything was still Super. I mean, there's still Bud Lights out there that have the Super Bowl, logo on there.
Tex Utah loves Pepsi.
I like it too, but since I've been on the health kick, I'm not drinking any sodas.
Tex Utah feels that Pepsi is the cola of the United States.
Pepsi is the cola of the United States.
Yeah. They feel that strongly about it.
Let's see here. Now, I think it has a better taste than Coca-Cola.
Oh, right, yeah?
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
I think it does. But I think Coca-Cola has more brand recognition globally. Yeah.
I might have been stretching the truth there a bit, but
Diet Dirt. Is that what Diet Dirt? Okay, so does she like it or does she not like it? Are you messing with me?
Yes, I am.
What does she like?
Coke.
Oh. Well, I stand by my original statement. I still think Pepsi
I think you
tastes
should.
better.
I think you should.
But Coca-Cola has more global brand recognition. So, as a matter of fact, over in downtown Disney, up in Orlando, they have this huge, massive Coca-Cola store. And it's just nothing but Coca-Cola products, and you go to the roof and they have you can buy flights of different types of Cokes around the world and their Coke products. It's actually kind of cool. I shy away from it right now, just because I've been running and the Chicky Nugget challenge kind of traumatized my stomach. So
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. It traumatized my stomach. So
now, before we jump in on our topic, because you had to mention the Coca-Cola store.
Oh yeah.
So I went to the one in Vegas.
Oh, they got one in Vegas, really?
Before COVID. Before the dark times. Before COVID.
This is truly the darkest timeline going on right now.
I went to the one in Vegas. Now, did the one that you're talking about, did it have the free serving machine where you go and you tap and you get any flavor and all that stuff?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Did that one have the sensor? Like, you know how some of those that you go to the theaters, you just walk up to it and you can pour whatever you want, get however much ice you want.
Mm-hmm.
Did yours have a sensor that if you got to a point with the ice, you only got so much drink?
No, but I've seen those before. I don't think that was there. But yeah, I've seen those before.
The person at the Coca-Cola store in Vegas, she explains this to me before I go to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
So I have prior knowledge of this.
Yeah.
And I go to the machine, and guess what happens?
What happens?
I put only so much ice on the sensor, and then I only get so much drink.
It's so weird.
Even with her telling me, I was so pissed off because I thought I did it right.
Why would you?
And then I go and I get about a quarter cup of soda, and I'm like, okay, look.
It's ice and sugar water. Why make it so complicated?
I'm like, I know you told me, but really, I have a quarter cup of soda here. You gotta, you charged me $8 for the cup, man. Like, you gotta do something.
Oh, God. Vegas. It's so expensive. Love it.
That's my little spiel on the Coca-Cola store. It's cool. You try the flavors from all over the world and all that. That's great. But I don't like the sensor thing. Don't like it.
All right, so hashtag boycott Coca-Cola sensors.
Yes, let's do that. I'm going to boycott Coca-Cola sensors. I think we should protest it tomorrow.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, we can add it to the...
But I'm going to do the protest virtually. I'm not going to get out there with 10,000 people, so,
Yeah, but better for you to stay safe. But you know what? Speaking of that, and I think this is a great way to get into our first topic, is we're going to talk John Boyega.
Yes, we are.
And his involvement in the ongoing protests, and him speaking up and being a voice for the movement that's going on right now. The reason I wanted to talk about this because John Boyega is one of our own. right? He's one of our own, as Finn in the
Yep.
in the sequel trilogy. And I think he did very well in there, and I think he was a good addition. I did want to see kind of his character be explored a little bit more, but I mean, I guess that's not saying that he still.
I would have
can't.
liked to have seen his force sensitivity.
Yeah,
explained a
exactly.
little better.
Yeah, because you were seeing little hints of it. So
Yep.
I'm hoping and I'm thinking that kind of translates into him being part of some story or show on Disney Plus or something like that. I
mean, with all they're doing with Disney Plus, I wouldn't see why not. I mean,
yeah, I think it would be fantastic. And
yeah, I agree.
So with him coming out and being very vocal, he said something very, very interesting. He said he didn't care if he never acted again. He's still going to voice what he believes in. And I think I think what he did was admirable. But I think what's even more admirable is that Lucasfilm
came out and backed him up.
They backed him up.
Yes,
they backed him up 100%. And
I mean, if you think about it, it still hits home for John Boyega because they started also the demonstrations in London.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean,
it's worldwide.
This went global in a very short amount of time.
It did. It really did. And because I think what sparked it, it really resonated to not just here in the United States, but it resonated, in whatever forms that they're experiencing, in other countries and cultures. So, yes. Having him come out and be vocal. I mean, he's young. He's a voice. He's influential. I think it was very admirable of him, and he did it without regard to his career. And I mean, he's an up and coming.
He just put himself out there.
Yeah, he put himself out there. He's an up and coming young actor. He was in that other movie, the sequel to what was it called? Where they had the big robots.
Oh yeah.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, so he was in the sequel, and I saw it, and it was great. He did fantastic. So, I think what this does, it gives us a reason to kind of discuss this just a little bit, and we don't even have to get political about this, because what we're talking about here is we're talking about, and we touched on it last week a little bit. We're talking a very, very expansive universe, even though this is all fiction, right? But it brings people together. It brings people from different circles and all walks of life to a common interest, right? And so much so that we have a show that we do weekly, and we talk about Star Wars and the speculation and everything that's involved in it. And I think what John Boyega did is it shows. I mean, it can show the kind of solidarity as fans that we have for each other, not just for the love of the franchise, but the love of loving this franchise and these films and talking about it. So I think it's great. Go ahead. Sorry.
Isn't that a lot? What I mean, George Lucas, when he put his vision together, I mean, a lot of what 4, 5, and 6 were struggle,
mm-hmm.
and it was partly oppression. It was you're talking about being oppressed from an imperial regime with eradicating freedoms. That's where as a new hope is beginning, the Emperor's dissolving the remainder of the Senate, mm-hmm. and he's giving direct control to regional governors, mm-hmm. which are imperial.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we're talking about a rebellion rising up against that. So
yeah, I mean, and that's what that's all about. I mean, I'm not saying that what's going on right now is a rebellion. It's a movement.
It's a movement.
Yeah, it's a
Big
movement.
Difference.
It's a very important movement, and this kind of speaks out about what Star Wars is, and it's not Star Wars is not about, it's not really about war, and it's not about rebellion, right? It's about people coming together, right? And fighting for a cause. That's really,
and it's about redemption.
It is. It's ultimately about redemption, because that's why George Lucas always talks about Star Wars being the tragedy of Darth Vader. He talks about his story as being the tragedy of Darth Vader, and it truly is a tragedy, because he was supposed to ultimately bring balance to the Force and be the Force for good, and then he turned evil, turned to the dark side because of manipulation. So, we spend the rest of the story, right, trying to get away from that, trying to not let Kylo Ren fall into the same trap that his grandfather did.
Yeah.
So it is ultimately about redemption. It's about redemption of the Jedi, of a group. It's about personal redemption. And then it's about, you see at the very end of your favorite movie, Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, is your favorite. I know that is.
Yeah, my absolute favorite.
But at the very end, when they think all hope is lost, even though they mounted this formidable attack on Exegol, they think it's done. They think the battle is over, and then what happens? Just this entire fleet of people from all over the galaxy. They come to destroy the second coming of the Empire, to not let it happen again. And then at the end, the same thing at the very, very end, where you have Lando Calrissian talking to that young girl from the what was it, from Endor, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hey, well, she says she doesn't know where she's from, and then he says, well, let's find out. This is just people coming together, helping each other out for a common goal and a common purpose, and having one of our own, John Boyega, right? And I say he's one of our own because he's part of our own. Yeah, he's part of the franchise.
He's part of the Star. You embed yourself like this as a character in Star Wars. You become part of the Star Wars family. Mm-hmm. It's how it goes.
Yeah, it's not typecasting, John. If you ever get a chance to ever see this, we're not typecasting you, no, right? But you're now part of this huge fraternity that that we're part of, and it's so big that two guys from separate parts of the country can have a cool show about Star Wars, and we talk about it. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time just talking about him, and it takes a level of courage, because you sacrifice possibly your career. I mean,
you're really sticking your neck out there.
You are sticking your neck out there, so it takes a certain level of courage, and I think he represented the community
and that
very well.
That's why he needed. I'm not saying he needed, absolutely needed it, but he needed Lucasfilm to come out for him like that. I mean, because what Lucasfilm did by doing that, it instantly legitimizes what he's saying.
Oh, it legitimizes.
What that does is it carries a long way to other movie studios. So other movie studios that might have been on the hedge of wanting to work with him after he made that statement, as soon as Lucasfilm came out and said, "This is a legitimate cause. This is our guy. He's been there with us since 2015, and we're gonna back him up."
Yeah, and I don't see any.
The instant Lucasfilm did that, every other movie studio had no concerns at that point.
And I don't think any movie studio would ever back away from him because of what he was doing.
Likely not, because the Screen Actors Guild would get in the middle.
Not only that, but I mean you just can't. I mean, it's he's on the right side of history here. He is voicing out his belief. I know he did it on a personal level. He's not really thinking of us and the Star Wars community and the fandom and everything.
No. This is tremendous. Yeah,
and this is personal to him. And
yes, definitely.
But the unintended consequence of that is that now we're all talking about it, and we're all behind him. So not only does he have the backing of Lucasfilm, but he has the backing of us.
Yes.
I mean, you and I are tiny, and we have our small but loyal following, which we love,
and we do love it.
Yeah, we're so glad that everybody comes and joins us, on Monday nights. But we're behind him, and I wanted just to talk about it a little bit, because I don't think that we can really do this kind of show, with something as big happening and not say something, and not say something. But I think this is great. This is a good story. This was a good topic to talk about. More power to him, and I hope you stay safe out there because
yes,
it can get a little rough. But I think that's I think everything he's doing is fantastic, and it makes me very proud to be a fan of this franchise. What he did and what he continues to do makes me very proud. I mean, I can voice my opinion. I can go out there and do things, but it's not going to have the same voice and the same volume as a celebrity does. So my thanks to him, and I think it's great, and I support the movement, and I support him, and I hope that we can, as a community, as a culture, as a nation, that we will take this opportunity and we will heal.
Yes.
Because we're hurt. People are hurt, and when we address this, we start to figure out exactly, okay, why did this happen in the first place, and we begin the healing process. And I think that's kind of where we're going towards that way now. We were movement. You hit the middle, you kind of hit an apex of that. And now we're seeing our community leaders starting to act, and we're starting to heal.
John Boyega is a big part of that. I mean, he resonates that type of personality.
Yeah,
so
he definitely does. He's very vocal. He's very happy. So yeah, I think he is probably the best ambassador for the Star Wars brand to go out there and show support for the movement. So, Dark Knight 66, what's up? He's in.
Yes, he is.
So that's that's all I wanted to say. We spent a good part of a segment on that.
That was our first topic. Yep.
But yeah, that was our first topic. But now we're gonna move on to some other stuff. We're gonna talk actual Star Wars, believe it or not, in this show. But Dave Filoni, he has a new perspective on Anakin Skywalker's destiny from The Phantom Menace. Now,
Yep.
this is you told me about this earlier, and I haven't heard about this, dude. What? Really?
So,
what's he talking about, man?
So really, it's fascinating actually, because I mean, when he went over it,
Mm-hmm.
I never even really considered it up until he said it.
Okay.
It was mentioned on the Disney Gallery documentary that they've done on The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Filoni was referencing back to the prequels. So his point was, if you consider the Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace, that particular duel is what actually dictated Anakin's fate at that moment.
You think so?
And the argument he used, it's pretty difficult to refute, because if you had considered if the script had been flipped, if it had been Qui-Gon that survived and not Obi-Wan,
Okay.
Qui-Gon would have instructed Anakin completely different than Obi-Wan would have. And
Right.
that Qui-Gon would have taken on a much more father figure role to Anakin versus a brother figure.
Well,
And
I mean, the age thing, I get it. Okay.
He would have exhibited more compassion. He would have exhibited more of an understanding to Anakin's emotions than Obi-Wan just constantly referencing back to Jedi dogma to answer his questions. Just, this is what the council says, this is what our dogma says, this is what you're going to follow.
That's super interesting, Brian.
Qui-Gon would have taken a stance of, well, wait a minute, yes, the council does ask us to do this, but this could be a gray area for us. Okay. And he might have, on several issues, big one being attachment, he might have taken Anakin under his wing a little bit more and have nurtured him a little bit more. And if Qui-Gon had been the one to be his master we may not. Oh man, come on now.
It's my boy. Sorry, Qui-Gon Jinn. Carry on. Go ahead. We needed a visual. Carry on.
How am I supposed to keep going through this with that in my face? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's Qui-Gon Jinn.
What do you mean Qui-Gon Jinn? Jim what?
Jim. He goes to the gym. He's lifting.
Oh.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay. You know.
Do you want me to bring up Emperor Palpatine?
No.
Or Buff Yoda. Oh, Prison Rip Yoda. Prison Rip Yoda.
Prison Rip Yoda.
Yeah, man.
Prison Rip episode already. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, Prison Rip Yoda.
Oh, no, we're not going to do it. No. So, considering those factors, it's possible that had Qui-Gon been the one to come out of the duel, Anakin may have never fallen to the dark side. He might have stayed a Jedi.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
And I just, you know, I don't know how I'm supposed to talk about this with this crap coming up on this. You know, I just don't know. So when he put that spin on it, when he mentioned that.
Go ahead. You know where I found this? I found it on Reddit. It's under P90X Yoda. Yoda on P90X for 6 months. All right. Go ahead. All right. I interrupted you enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I never looked at it from that.
Neither did I. I've never seen it from that perspective, and that's a super interesting perspective. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn, he only lasted, through episode 1, and then he died, and then you don't see him as a Force ghost or anything after that, which was a bit disappointing. I would have loved to have seen some of the stuff, like from the original trilogy where he's a Force ghost. Maybe he's giving Obi-Wan a little bit of guidance or something like that. I don't know. Don't you agree?
Well, maybe they can do that in flashbacks on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think they can. Why not? Hold on.
I mean, with the Obi-Wan series. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, this is great.
Really?
Yeah.
Emperor Prop.
Oh, yeah! Here we go. Admiral Squat Bar! Oh! See? Right there? And you got Emperor Palpatine.
I don't know
what most awesome picture ever. Oh, yes.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you went out to look for it or the fact that somebody made it.
Dude, I spent a lot of time on Reddit, and I look at really.
I can tell.
I
can tell.
I watch a lot of dumb stuff, man. All right, we can get back to more, I guess, appropriate topics here for this show. Oh,
please.
Okay, so wait a minute. So Dark Knight 66. He would have still been manipulated by the Emperor. There's no stopping that. Either way you want to see it, he would have fallen. Right.
I have only one response to that.
Okay.
Filoni doesn't think so.
No, and you know what? It may have turned out completely different, but okay.
I happen to think it would have. Dude, I agree with Filoni.
You know what? Here's what I see happening in years to come, right? Because now that Disney is involved, I mean, we see more active participation in the storylines for all of Star Wars. Okay, so DC, right? I know we go off topic, but this is just for compare.
Oh, here we go.
This is for compare and contrast.
Now we're going to DC Comics. Here we go.
Compare and contrast with the whole Injustice thing, right? So the Injustice video game, right? Gods Among Us. Really good story.
Mortal Kombat for DC games, right?
Exactly. with an amazing storyline. But
no fatalities.
Here's the no fatalities because I mean they're metahumans. But here's
Why
what
can't
here's
a metahuman can't kill somebody?
Well, yeah, but I mean Superman can't die. Well, I mean
he can't.
No, not forever. He did twice.
Okay,
but not forever.
Yeah.
But they did something really cool with the Injustice series. So they made the video game, but they did a comic leading up to it. Everything that led up to it. I mean, all you see is Superman killing Joker, and that's it. And you think that's it. No, there is this whole storyline. As soon as after everything happens, there's years of struggle. Batman's on one side, Superman's on the other side. So it's an alternate reality, right? That's all this is just this alternate reality of the superheroes. It's a different Earth, it's a different universe. Now, what if Star Wars did something like that? I'm talking about years from now, after there's some establishment, because like with Clone Wars, right? We know the story of Clone Wars now with Ahsoka and everything, and how that all ended. But now you can have all these what if scenarios, and it's so fun to revisit those things because seriously, what if Superman did that? They did that with Superman. They called it Red Sun. What if Superman landed in the USSR?
What if he landed in Russia?
In Russia, instead of in Kansas.
That one was really good. I saw that one, and I give them credit. That one was really good.
Read the comic. It's even better. The comic is even better than this. I mean, they left out a lot of stuff from the show, but it is fantastic. It's super what if. So if they did something like that with Star Wars, and I'm talking about not now, not right now, not while we're establishing Mandalorian, not right after Clone Wars. I'm talking about when the whole Skywalker saga is just kind of done, and there's really there's exploring it. There's new stories, but what do we do with the classic? What if Qui-Gon Jinn didn't die? What if Anakin did not become Darth Vader? All these
what if they do a Life of Brian type thing?
Oh yeah.
What if Qui-Gon goes up to a different kid?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That stuff would be great. So yeah, Dark Knight likes the Injustice storyline. It's and a Dark Knight. If you have not read the whole comic series from Injustice leading up to the video game, I mean, you're in for it because it's a lot of comics and it's great. I mean, you're not going to read it in one sitting. It's going to take you a few days. It's fantastic, great stuff. Yeah, that's great. And this is what I like about what you said about Dave Filoni, is he's thinking outside the box, man. Filoni's thinking outside the box.
Yeah, he's thinking outside the box. Right.
Yeah, and that's what great storytellers do. That's what great creators and showrunners do. Filoni, go with it, man. Take whatever you want, run with it, because it just sounds great. I mean, a lot of these things, I don't know if George Lucas would ever do that, but somebody like Filoni talking about these things, it gets me really excited, because even though we're not going to see it now, we're not going to see it soon. I mean, years from now, when I'm in my 60s, we're probably going to see some really cool stuff. Which is 20 years from now. Ooh.
Well, Tuscan, I'm going to call an audible. And
okay.
I'm going to move up one of our topics to right now, because what I want to do, I think the last two topics are decent to where I want to close with those last two topics.
Okay.
So I want to take the closing topic and move it up right now, which is that... and I got to tell you, I don't know how to pronounce this, but that Gianni Aliotti, who is
Aliotti, I think. Aliotti.
Aliotti?
The way you spelled it, yeah, Gianni.
Okay.
Aliotti. Johnny.
So
Johnny.
Gianni Aliotti,
mm-hmm.
and he is part of the Lucasfilm animation team. Mm-hmm. He caught himself in a tweet. not that we know it. Not that we know anybody that catches themselves in a tweet, right? We don't know.
No, not at all. No, of course not.
Somebody tweeting in the United States? Get out of here!
No, and people making a big deal about it. No, that never happens.
No.
Anyway,
he caught himself in a tweet stating that regardless of COVID-19,
mm-hmm.
that Lucasfilm animation is alive, well, and running strong. And I think we have a web link to this, I believe.
Oh yeah. Let me bring that up. That's right. You did give me a link to it.
Now, when he floated this, no, not that one. Okay, there you go. When he floated this tweet out there, speculation ran wild that they're gonna do a Clone Wars season 8, and I can't support that because I don't see how that's feasible from a storyline standpoint.
Hold real quick. I want to respond to Dark Knight 66. I've never read that comic. It was Joker by it was his name Lee Barmejo. Yeah, I have never read that. I am going to read that like probably tonight. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Carry on.
I can't support that. It's one thing for him to say that Lucasfilm Animation is continuing to thrive regardless of COVID-19 and they're working on projects. I could totally see that. But to come up with the idea that one of those projects would be a Clone Wars Season 8, I don't see that feasible. It's not... The timeline aspect of how they closed the series finale of Clone Wars, I don't see how it allows for it.
This is the tweet in question? This is the suspect tweet?
You have it up?
Yeah.
I can't really see it on my monitor, so you're going to have to help me out.
Glad to see so much love for our work in hashtag the Clone Wars again. Keep loving them, and we'll keep making more. And fear not, we at Lucasfilm Animation are still going strong, even during COVID-19. That is the tweet.
I do not see a feasibility of a Clone Wars Season 8. It does... There's not a way to do it. The way they closed the way they closed it in what I call the series finale, I view for one, they advertised it as a series finale. Let's just start there. When this came on Disney Plus, everything was lit that this was the series finale. Excuse me. So you have that to start with. It was advertised from the get-go that they're closing it. Second, the series leads into Order 66, and you have Order 66 taking place in the last two shows. So, when Ahsoka disembarks and she's buried her comrades who were left on that Star Destroyer that crashed.
Yeah.
Well, not Star Destroyer, but that...
whatever that ship was, yeah.
That Republic cruiser, I guess you'd want to call it for that period in time. That Republic cruiser that went down. She buried all her clone comrades. That's very symbolic. I mean, you've got her looking at the helmets and she's going off on her new life, which is going to be, of course, a mainly spent in solitude for the fact that she's going to be in hiding. I don't see how you jump from that to getting a Clone Wars Season 8. It was very final to me. It was a very much a close the book moment.
It can be final, right? And I think it's good to just leave it at that. Even season 7. That's it. Yeah, you do. You've already said it's going to be the final season. I think doing anything after that is going to be anticlimactic. Now here's saying that you can still do shows, but I think you have to take a different spin on it. I think I think you've done everything that you can do as far as the clones, Ahsoka story at that point in time, anyways. And now you can focus on other things. You really, really can. There's a lot of other characters. There's a lot of other side stories that you can tell. So,
Salacious Crumb needs a show.
Hey! Oh my God! Yes, he does. Do I have that? And he becomes a Sith Lord. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
What? No.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go crazy here.
Oh yeah.
Don't go crazy here. No. I said he needs a show.
Yeah.
I didn't say that he needed to go be a Sith.
He didn't die. He didn't die, right? He didn't die.
Of course he died.
He died?
Of course he died.
Oh, that's right. The thing exploded.
The whole barge blew up.
Yeah.
How's he gonna get out of that?
Yeah, but he's a Muppet. So, I mean, like, if picture him like Gonzo.
So what if he's a Muppet?
You know, flying across the desert. Yeah, just like in the Muppets. You know how he flies? Like, you know, Gonzo.
No.
He falls into the trombone. Oh, yes.
Okay, but you have a problem with that, though. There's a problem here.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
So when you watch, yes, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Are you gonna tell me what it is?
Yes, I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, okay.
So when you watch the Muppet Show, you were watching Muppets, but they were Muppets in a Muppet world, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Salacious Crumb.
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Shirley Bassey. Yeah!
You know, I'm gonna give you some small credit for what's going on with that right now. But you know what would have been more impressive is if you had done the Star Wars Muppet one.
Wait a minute, what? The Star Wars Muppet?
Why didn't you play the one with Mark Hamill?
I didn't. Oh, there is one, isn't there?
Yes, there is. But I mean,
Oh.
once again, I have my esteemed Tuscan Toast outwitted with knowledge once more.
Wow. They did. Oh, the pigs in space! Yes! Oh, yes. Play it.
Oh boy, here we go.
I had no idea this was out. But I remember the pigs in space.
Oh, come on.
What is this?
Excuse me, Master Luke, but what is this strange world we've come to?
Beats me, 3PO. Seems we've landed on some sort of comedy variety show planet.
There you go.
I think I had a crappy version of it. But that's awesome. I'm going to watch it. I love pigs in space.
So, the difference being is with the Muppet Show, you had Muppets that were actually Muppets that existed in a Muppet environment.
Yeah.
Right? With Salacious Crumb, yes, he's a Muppet, but he's not in a Muppet environment. He is the species that he is of that we are to believe is an organic thing.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think, and this will be my homework, okay? I think that there is a way for me to tie the Muppet universe, right, in with Star Wars. I believe
that doesn't require homework. You just did it.
No, because it would.
You just did it. You did it. No, you just did it right now.
No, that was indirect. I'm telling you.
What do you mean it's indirect?
I think that there is a. I think that I can figure out how the Muppet Show, right, coexists in the universe of Star Wars.
They don't coexist.
I think I can figure it out. I can find it. I can find it.
You would have a better opportunity of explaining how Marvel coexists with Star Wars. That's easier to explain.
Well, yeah, because anything can happen in Marvel. I mean,
correct. So you might as well do that. There's no way you're going to explain how the Muppets coexist with Star Wars.
I think Muppets and Star Wars exist in the same universe. This is my conspiracy theory, and I will bring. Well, if it's proof, is it conspiracy anymore? No, not really. I guess it'd just be a thing. So, I bet you I can figure it out. I bet you there is a character linking those two universes. I shouldn't be doing that. But I think that there's a character that is linking. I shouldn't be doing that either. Okay, mine. Gutter out of it.
Yeah,
so,
please.
We lost a viewer when I did that. So we just stop. There has to be a character.
That's two now that you've.
Yeah, I've frightened off. I'm sorry. There has to be a character. There is a character. I guarantee you there is a character that links these two together. And I'm sure if I do enough research, somebody else on Reddit has probably already done this, to find out that the Muppet World,
Why wouldn't that surprise me?
the Muppet World and Star Wars exist in the same universe. I'm sure I can find that out.
I doubt
I think it would be harder for me to find the Muppet World and Fraggle Rock coexisting.
No, that would be easier. Muppet and Fraggle
But Sesame
Rock,
Street and the Muppets absolutely coexist in the same universe.
of course they coexisted.
So therefore, by proxy,
No.
Sesame Street
No.
and Star Wars
No.
exist in the same
No.
universe. So it's not necessarily
Now
a
you're
long time
saying
ago
Sesame Street.
in a
Now you're saying
galaxy
Sesame-
far, far away.
No. You just said Sesame Street and Star Wars now. You were with Muppets before.
Yeah, but
Now you're jumping
we know,
all over the
But we
place.
know Sesame Street and Muppets exist in the same universe. We've seen the same characters. As a matter of fact, Kermit the Frog does his little news thing on.
Yes, but that's Sesame
Hi,
Street.
I'm Kermit the Frog, and this is the news. Rah! You know? Yes, it's a
But
very
that's
good
Sesame
impression.
Street.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Good luck with this one. Is all I got to tell you. Because
Yeah,
you're not
I'm gonna bring some interesting stuff, man. This is gonna be a big show next week. This is gonna be.
Is it going to be as fascinating as the aerodynamic cow?
Oh, you want me to bring that up again?
No.
No, I'm not gonna bring it up again.
I said no. Thank you.
I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm gonna find out the aerodynamics of something a little less interesting, and turn it into something more interesting. It's gonna be fun. Oh man!
All right.
What are we doing?
We're going to go into.
Hold on. Well,
We're going to.
hold on. But I want to end with the legacy and expanded universe. What's?
Well, no. You want to, so you want. Oh, so you're gonna call an audible then?
I'm gonna call an audible.
Okay.
At the line.
So
Broom Boy.
Yeah.
I just what the hell are you talking about? What's a Broom Boy?
I didn't. You're on the wrong set of topics, man.
You said Broom Boy wants back in.
Well, that's something else entirely.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna go to that because I want to close with the legacy versus expanded.
No. We're yeah. You can broom the broom boy. We're
Yeah,
not. We're.
I don't even know what that is. What are you talking
The
about?
broom boy from The Last Jedi.
Broom Boy. That movie was so forgettable. You have to refresh my memory.
The kid that used the Force to grab the broom.
Oh, he wants back in.
He does.
How about no?
But hey, this is where you could put him into the. This is where that you could put him into the animated stuff, but that's a whole other deal.
It is because I don't want anything out of that movie to ever exist in anything outside of that movie. That thing was garbage. Garbage. The Last Jedi. Horrible. Hated it. Sad.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the return of legacy characters muddling up the upcoming second season of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had that. We weren't talking about it.
So I really want to get into that because
No, it's not. It's not, man.
I believe the Dark Knight wants to know if Snoke or the Praetorian Guards are going to get an animated project. No, they're not.
I don't really know what the point of them was.
Praetorian Guards?
No, I mean the guards are fine. I just don't know what the point of Snoke was.
There was no point.
Yeah,
He was a DNA mass of crap that was created by Palpatine. So there's no point to put him in anything.
But the thing was, there was no charisma to his evil. He was just a dick, you know.
He was boring.
Yeah, he was super
he was
boring.
Absolutely boring.
Yeah, and he was just this big jerk, you
Flat.
know. And,
Flat.
And there's just no charisma to his evil, you know.
Was flatter than a flat earther. That's how flat he was.
Yeah.
Just absolutely flat.
So I mean, I got reservations with that and how he died so easy. I mean, I guess, but
you have all this going on with legacy characters coming into the Mandalorian too,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have them saying that they're going to put Ahsoka in there, and they're gonna put Captain Rex in with her, and now
That's great.
after, hang on,
Yeah.
hang on,
Okay. All right.
and then after they come out with that, then they're like, oh well, you know what? We're gonna throw Bo-Katan in there, and now we're gonna throw in Boba Fett too. Okay,
Great.
so hey, wait a minute. So when The Mandalorian began, when we saw that not pilot, but when we saw that first episode of the first season, when Disney Plus launched their service,
Yeah.
the thing that everybody raved about was that they had never seen stuff like that before.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing that leapt out of everyone's mouth. Oh, we haven't seen anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is totally new. This
Mhm.
is Filoni's taking us to places we've never been. Okay. Now you've got them saying, "Oh, but we're going to bring in this person. We're going to bring in this person." I think you start bringing you. It was fine, maybe a couple of them, but now you add like 3 or 4 more to the 2 that you were talking about. I'm sorry, but the waters start to get murky with that. I mean, you begin to detract from the originality that attracted me to this thing.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. And
It
this
is.
And this is why. Because, yes, I agree with your point of view. All right, for once.
Wow.
Don't let it let it go to your head because it's not going to happen.
I'm going to mark that down. Hold on. I'm going to mark.
Yeah, just
Mark it on my phone.
mark that.
Got it.
I very much understand, and I think you do make a very excellent point. But I think, and I get excited because I like fan service. I get super excited about these kind of things. But how do you want to go about that though? If you're the showrunner, if you're Filoni, and if you're you're one of the directors that they're bringing in to The Mandalorian season 2, how do you want to bring these characters in? Do you want to bring these characters in to be ongoing characters, or do you want them just to be like cameos?
Well, see, now you bring in the new problem also.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a matter of that you begin to detract and take away
Mm-hmm.
from the originality that's made this so attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Now you also have characters that are lead characters in their own right. I mean, Ahsoka,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her popularity is through the roof right now. So you put her in there, you begin to draw the focus away from Din Djarin.
Yeah.
You're going to start to polarize the
I see what
fans
you're
of the
saying.
show. You're going to start to polarize them. You're going to have like Din Djarin's going, hey, don't be taken away from my Din Djarin, and then you're going to have the Ahsoka fans come in there, and they're going to say, piss off Din Djarin. I want a whole story arc of the Mandalorian focusing on Ahsoka. Tell Din Djarin to go stick his helmet on and go someplace else. You're going to have that happening, and I don't want to see this happen to the show. Boba Fett, you put a Boba Fett in there.
Well,
and,
you kind of have to.
Do you really think that anyone's going to give a hooping funt about Din Djarin once Boba Fett gets in there? I, for one, know that I won't. Din Djarin can take a hike as soon as they put Boba Fett in there. I would just say kill Din Djarin off and just make the whole thing on Boba Fett at that point. Let Boba Fett take the child. I'll just go crazy.
And who knows? Maybe that does happen. Maybe you called it.
I don't recommend it.
Okay. All right. You know what?
Boba Fett says you joined us.
You changed my mind. You changed my mind. Boba Binks is absolutely right. Too many big personalities on the show. I'm with you on this.
You're muddling the waters.
Yeah, they need to tread lightly.
Slow down.
These characters. Yep. Chill out.
Take a character. Take maybe 2. Give them a couple cameos real quick. But don't. What? You like to interrupt with all kinds of DC stuff, right?
Yes.
So can I do it? Can I do it?
Please.
All right. So let's take for example, Batman and Robin,
Okay.
or was it Batman Forever? Which one?
the
Which
last-
one had George Clooney?
Oh yeah, Batman and Robin.
Okay, so Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Boy, didn't they throw like the whole can of fish in there? with
Poison
that?
Ivy, Bane.
Bane, Poison
Yeah.
Ivy, Batgirl.
Yeah,
They-
Batgirl, which wasn't necessary.
They took every
Yeah,
Batman
and
character
Freeze.
and they threw it all into one show, one
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and you were just like, "Hang on, where the hell is this going?" Now, I do not want to see this happen to the Mandalorian too, but I don't want it to happen.
Well, you do have an entire season that you can do this with. You don't just have an hour and a half or 2 hours. So.
Well, when you add it all up, it translates to about an hour. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah, these are only 30-minute shows, aren't they?
these are only 30-minute
Yeah.
shows, but I just, I want the focus to. They have it completely built up on this relationship between Din Djarin, the child, and I don't want to see that dissolve. I really think that's where the focus needs to stay.
Well, really, the only thing we can do is wait and see. I agree. You changed my mind. I'm with you on that. I do love the originality of the Mandalorian. I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see some familiarity.
No, and
Not a
that
whole
familiarity's okay. I
Yeah.
mean, they've thrown in scout troopers, they've thrown in stormtroopers, we've had TIE fighters, we've had a Grand Moff in there, we've had the little tidbits that they throw in there. I mean, you had the Salacious Crumb species getting barbecued on a stick, funny stuff like that. You had Jawas in there. Doing little callbacks like that to the stuff that we fell in love with Star Wars in the first place. Throwing little tidbits like that are fine.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. But the legacy characters that they are discussing about bringing in are so strong that you're gonna draw some focus away. It's gonna happen. You're gonna draw some focus away from what they set out to do. But I mean, Boba Fett is that's huge. Even though Boba Fett got all but 15 total minutes in Star Wars combined, he still demands more focus than Din Djarin would. I mean, it's going to happen. Wow. And then Ahsoka goes without saying.
Yeah, Ahsoka is the big character right now, coming off the heels of season 7 of Clone Wars.
You're going to have the Ahsoka fans just blitz it, wanting all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. How do you fix this?
The first way you fix it is, again, this all lies in the world of unconfirmed, right?
Yeah.
Technically, you haven't confirmed anything.
Right.
So it's not like they wouldn't be able to hear some feedback and go, hey, wait a minute, we might want to put the brakes on some of this. You know, let's split the appearances up. You know, we might put Ahsoka in one early on, and then we might put Bo-Katan somewhere in the middle, and then we might put Captain Rex somewhere latter quarter, and then have them like kind of reconvene in the last two, kind of play it that way, where you're not overcrowding it. That's one way to play it. We're talking about October, so it's not airing until October. That's about what? You got 4 months?
Yeah. Which is a lifetime in Star Wars world when you're waiting for something, you know.
Yeah.
I really don't have a counter argument for that, because I think you make really excellent points, and you know, now I worry a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see where the series turns. You know, hopefully it's just not this oversaturation, and now we're not looking so much at story, but we're looking at character development. Blah blah blah. You need to have a good mix of it. But I think what saves that is the different directors coming in. I think that's what keeps these shows, each show fresh and different.
True.
Yeah, I think it changes up things a little bit, and if they keep doing that, I think we'll be okay. But what they need to start doing, and I really hope that this is where they're going with it, is that they're deciding that they're going to take some of these other characters and expand them in their own shows. Again, I mean, we have to compare and contrast Marvel. I mean, they're doing that with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision. They did that with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, they spun off everything. The only problem that Marvel really had when they did all that is that they didn't have that central platform to house everything. It was on ABC, it was on different things. And now you have Disney Plus, and you can house all those cool things. So,
True.
Lucasfilm, go with it, go for it. Make all the shows you want. We are not going to complain. We're not.
No, just
you're going to give us more stuff to talk about. So
just be sure to being that you have a limitless platform, don't overcrowd one show.
Mm-hmm.
No need to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and the remember the Mandalorian. What we all love about it is this really different take on a Star Wars story. It's kind of like this Wild West Lone Ranger type thing that were so popular when TV was just starting out. These kind of shows, The Mask of Zorro, The Lone Ranger. What else did they have? Just all the kind of these serials that they did. And that's kind of what Mandalorian is. It's that Wild West serial that made the original television show so popular. Going back to it, great, go for it. Now take a different approach, maybe. I'd really like a sci-fi approach. I'd really like to see a sci-fi approach to it, to explore the different the science of Star Wars. Even though it's not real, something more technical. It'd be fun. Why not? Go for it. Do it. I mean, do it. So, so we got 15 more minutes. Do we want to talk about Legacy versus Expanded a little bit?
We have to.
Nah, we don't have to talk. We can talk about that later because I really have a lot to say. So maybe we move that.
No.
I have a lot to say, man. It's gonna take. It's gonna take like half hour.
And we should go ahead and do it because right. I'm already not excited about it. So.
Well, why? Why not?
Why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
Okay.
And then I'll see, because what that leaves me the opportunity to do is after you've poured out your guts on it, that allows me to go in and completely tear it down. So why don't you go ahead first?
Fine, funny. I hate it. It sucks. I hate it. I don't like that they did that. I don't like that they did Legacy versus Expanded Universe, and now they're calling it Legends and
No. The what it is the High Republic. That's what Expanded Universe is morphed into.
What? High Republic?
Your High Republic is basically your EU now. I mean, it's gonna.
But why split it off? Why? Why not make it work?
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, okay. You split it off, right?
It doesn't exist anymore.
No. Garbage.
It does not exist.
No, it does. It does.
Doesn't.
I don't care what they say. It doesn't belong to them anymore. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't belong to. I know. We're a community. We love the universe. We love the franchise, but it's not theirs exclusively anymore to make that decision. It's not.
So you're telling me that Jaina Solo exists?
Yes.
She does.
Exactly. Somewhere.
Really?
Somehow. Somewhere.
She ended up in episode 7?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But look.
Jason Solo?
Anakin
Solo?
They never said that they didn't have kids, other kids.
Mm-hmm.
They never said that.
Okay.
You can make it work.
Keep going.
I don't like it because they made this decision, right? They made this decision after George Lucas had authorized books, comics, video games, all these things to be made, right?
Mm-hmm.
That fans took and made some really, really great stories, right? And then it followed us, he told them that they had certain guidelines. They had a left and right lateral limit that they had to stay on, right? And they had this lane, and they stayed in this lane. They couldn't talk about certain people, or they could talk about certain people, or they could expand on certain people. They couldn't expand on other people. He kept it kind of clean, kind of, right? And then Lucasfilm comes in, and they make 3 movies, all right? One which is horrible, and then they decide, oh, wait a minute, whatever happened for the last 30 plus years, that doesn't exist anymore unless it's a movie, right? Who the hell are they to say that? Who are they to say that?
Are you quite finished?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm done.
It's out of your system. You're entirely certain.
Well, I'm probably gonna go bang my head against the wall a little bit later, but yeah, that's out of my system.
All right.
Okay.
So, now that my esteemed colleague, the Tuscan Toast, has had his moment of catharsis, let's get down to brass tacks. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's start with the first thing that George Lucas allowed all these things to happen. No. George Lucas didn't allow squat. What he did was he took royalty payments. He had no trouble with that, but he made it very clear he had no involvement. He had nothing to do with the expanded universe, and it was nothing that he consulted on. That it was entirely whatever they did, and he took the money. So let's be real clear about that. This was not a moment of George Lucas giving his blessing to continue Star Wars. That did not happen. 1. 2, you did not have a multitude of fantastic stories. You had one really great one, which was the Timothy Zahn trilogy, and that was it. After the Timothy Zahn trilogy came out, you had a bunch of crap. Now, maybe the only other thing you had was Shadows of the Empire. I'll give it that. But everything minus Zahn and Shadows of the Empire was a bunch of just discombobulated, muddled garbage. It was all over the place. You had authors springing up books, and then you had comics all spilling over from all kinds of directions, and eventually no one was consistent. And you didn't have an expanded universe. You had an expanded discombobulaverse. Is what you ended up with. It was just all over the place. So no, it didn't work. You didn't have authors that were on the same page trying to connect things back and connect the dots. Didn't happen. They referenced, of course, they referenced everything back to what they had to work with at the time, which was for some point of time it was just 4 through 6, but then eventually they had 1 through 6.
Let me ask you something real quick before you continue on.
Mm-hmm.
Camino.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was erased from the Jedi archives.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it explained?
What, that it got erased?
Yes.
There's a story arc on it.
Exactly. From
in
what?
Clone Wars. In Clone Wars.
Was it in Clone Wars?
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
What were you going to say?
Nothing. Never mind. Carry on.
No, by all means, go ahead. I got to hear this.
No.
Is this just...
No. No.
It almost seems comical. I'd like to hear it.
It didn't get talked about in a book?
I'm sure that it did, but whatever was discussed in that book was thwarted by Dave Filoni.
Okay.
Because Dave Filoni explained what happened.
Okay. What did happen? I don't know.
Well, he explained how Count Dooku went and pretty much murdered Sifo-Dyas,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's actually Dooku that was the one that erased the files
Oh,
because he had access.
Oh, well then I guess that was easy to explain. I don't know why they just didn't do it in episode 2.
Well, you know why they probably did it and didn't do it correctly in the book? Was because some author that wanted to write a book didn't connect the dots himself and think about it,
Okay.
and just thought he'd do his own thing, which was the problem to begin with in the expanded universe.
Oh boy.
What? I'm sorry, but Disney's decision to tell the expanded universe to piss off, sorry everybody, was one of the best decisions ever made in the history of Star Wars. Because that had to go.
Yeah, because
Now-
it definitely wasn't The Last Jedi. That definitely wasn't the best decision ever.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that Disney goes and references a character or two out of the EU, i.e. General Thrawn, locations and other things.
I thought it was Grand Admiral.
That's fine.
Grand
It
Admiral.
is Grand, it is Grand Admiral.
Get your rank structure correct.
The fact that they decide to pluck, I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not canon. It's not going to be canon anymore. It's over. And I want this era eviscerated from the saga because I'm just done with it.
All right. Poof, be gone. I'm sorry. You know why I'm laughing?
I don't know why you're laughing.
I told you to get your rank structure right. And dude,
I'm
I am so bad with Air Force rank structure. I mean, I don't know any of it at all because I've rarely hung around Air Force people. And someone called and they were looking for someone that was in the Air Force that I know that works in the same installation as me. They're like, "What's his rank?" I was like, "He's a senior air chief." There's no senior air chief. It's a senior. I don't even know. It's a senior something. But anyways, yeah, I said it, and it was this guy was a major in the Army. He's like senior air chief. Were you ever in the military? The guy never met me. I was like, yeah, I'm a gunnery sergeant actually in the reserve of the Marine Corps. And he was like, you don't know your Air Force rank structure? How would I? I don't sit there memorizing it. I just made up this stupid thing.
Shame on you.
Senior air chief. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, my dad was in the Air Force, and I didn't even bother to learn the rank structure. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm bad gunny. But I agree with you on what you're saying. So good gunny.
Wait, so you agree with me again?
Yeah, I agree.
Twice in one show?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight this battle because you know what? I just kind of
Wow, that's crazy. Twice in one show.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's agreeing or conceding. Yeah, it's conceding.
I'll take either one.
Yeah, it's conceding.
I'll definitely take a concession. Forget it.
Yeah, it's a concession.
I'll absolutely take a concession.
It's a concession, and I'm still gonna argue the theory of Darth Jar Jar. I can do that because that wasn't done in anything other than Robot Chicken.
You can do all. You know Jar Jar's fate, don't you? How he ended up?
As a Sith Lord?
No.
Gungan King of Naboo? What?
No. We have canon material that says how he ended up.
Oh, what happened? Fish food?
You seriously don't know?
No, don't. Is he dead? Don't tell me this. Boba Binks, you may wanna do earmuffs. I don't think Jar Jar Binks has a very good.
God, what the Misa saying?
Do I have something
So-
else? No.
We find out in the book Aftermath, that's Disney approved canon. And Aftermath is the book that was written to bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Okay.
We find out in Aftermath that Jar Jar Binks becomes depressed and distraught after Padme's death.
Because it was his
And-
fault.
blames himself for her death and the Empire taking over.
Yep, it is. It is his fault.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's unable to forgive himself. So he relinquishes his duties that he took on
As a senator?
as a senator,
Mm-hmm.
which is a joke. And he relinquishes that and goes to the streets of Coruscant and becomes a street clown. He becomes a homeless street clown.
That doesn't make me very happy. What happens to him ultimately?
I don't care.
Sad Gungan noises.
Hey, what the? He
becomes a homeless street clown.
probably drew a bigger crowd than us tonight, though. So.
Oh no, we had up to 7 people at one point. That's all right.
Oh, that's all right.
It's good. We're just having a good time. Talking. I guarantee you that the tragedy of Darth Jar Jar will.
No, there's no more Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah.
He's Jar Jar Bozo.
What book was it again? That
Aftermath. It's also an aftermath that you discover that a sheriff ends up with Boba Fett's armor. So Boba Fett will not have his armor to start in The Mandalorian 2 if they put him in.
A sheriff?
A sheriff.
Like you ain't from around these parts. That kind of sheriff?
And incidentally, they've got that role cast for The Mandalorian 2, by the way.
The sheriff.
Yep.
From Tatooine?
No, not from Tatooine, but there's going to be man, if I can only remember the name of the sheriff, but they've got the actor that's going to play him.
Who is it?
You could Google it right now and find it. You could Google it.
Sheriff?
Just put Mandalorian 2 casts sheriff.
Cobb Vanth?
Yeah, there you go.
Timothy Oliphant is going to play
Yep.
it.
There you go.
That's pretty appropriate. That's the guy from, what was that show? That other Western type show. I don't remember what it is.
I don't watch Westerns, so you're going to have to help me out.
Deadwood. He's from Deadwood.
Deadwood, man.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So
That's
this
interesting.
guy at the start of Mandalorian 2 is going to have Boba Fett's armor, not Boba Fett.
Okay. So Boba Fett's going to be walking around naked?
Naked.
All right. Okay. Okay. Naked
I mean,
clone.
if you watch Couples Retreat, Tamir Morrison's used to doing that anyway.
I remember that. Well, we have.
Please excuse my nudity. I just swam from the other side of the island.
Please excuse my nudity. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna walk around outside. Here.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Please
Excuse my nudity.
Please excuse my nudity. Oh, you're fine. That'll work. That'll go over real well.
I'm sure.
With my
That'll hit a real home run.
with my farmer's tan and then my fluorescent white ass walking around everywhere. Oh man, there hasn't been any pools open. I haven't been able to get any sun. But anyways, well, we hit our allotted time. I think we bored everybody to death.
We have
already, which is all right. It's just an excuse for us to keep in touch, man. And I'm just glad people want to join in and listen to us banter.
I am too.
So, so next week we'll figure some stuff out. We'll see what's going on. I know we were a little head scratchers here about our topics this week.
Boy, man, the rumor mill was dry as a bone out there.
Yeah, it's just not a whole lot's going on out there, but that's okay. I mean, we can talk about.
May the force be with you also, Bubba Binks.
Yes, may the force be with you.
What are you doing? And I don't get it. But, okay.
Oh man. I love it. So yeah, we'll figure out what to talk about next week. We'll kind of do some brainstorming and we'll figure some stuff out. Maybe we can. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Yeah, rumor mill's kind of dry, so there's not a whole lot of stuff to chat about, but that's okay. Take care.
Everyone, be good to each other out there.
Yeah, be safe, and we're gonna get through this, everybody. We really will. We're a strong community, not just us, but we can take our things that we love about the universe and share that inclusion and solidarity with everyone else around us, and be good stewards of this great expansive franchise that we love so much. And,
thanks to Bubba Binks, Dark Knight, and Tex Utah for being with us on the chat tonight.
Oh yeah, thanks so much. We appreciate you guys checking us out every Monday night. We were gonna move it to Tuesdays when Monday Night Football kicks on, but we don't.
That doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen now? So you may check us here every Monday. But thanks a lot. We'll see you all next week. Brian, you take care of yourself, buddy. All right.
Well, we're gonna yub nub out of here.
Yep. Let's get ready to yub nub out of here. Hey, good night, everybody. Have a good
Yub
one.